Let's talk about now why nutrition advice feels so confusing and contradictory. What's going on there, Jen?
Um, you know what? It's a critical question, and it's something that I still get confused about. My whole life has been in medicine and surgery. I've been looking at evidence for the past 25 years, and I still get confused. But it can seem particularly perplexing in nutrition compared to other health sciences because, like we said in the beginning, and I hope I don't feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's the inherent complexity of human diets. We're
Mhm.
not testing a single medication, we're testing a diet that contains hundreds of different sort of nutrients interacting simultaneously. And it makes it really difficult to isolate the effects of just one food or nutrient. Like, when you look in the newspaper, occasionally you'll see that um, red meat's terrible for you. But what researchers aren't doing, they're not evaluating red meat alone, for example. They have to also consider how people prepare the meat, what dishes are eaten with it, their overall lifestyle, their socioeconomic factors. So whenever a headline simplifies research by saying, hey, red meat is good or it's bad, it's often missing these nuances.
So it's the complexity which is really contributing to this confusion.
Yes, absolutely. And that complexity, yes, it does cause confusion, but then it also causes what we describe as a lot of noise
Mm.
out there because it will be people are, well-meaning. They want to look at the answers behind the headlines, but with this noise, it makes that very difficult to do. And that's because of things like the complexity, the research limitations, which, as we mentioned, it's just so complicated to show causation. Even when we talk about biases like healthy user bias and self-reporting accuracies, healthy user bias is actually something that's quite a significant issue in nutritional research
That's right.
because if you looked at people who follow certain dietary patterns, they may also engage in other healthy or unhealthy behaviors, like vegetarian diets. Vegetarian diets are often associated with better health outcomes. But when you're studying vegetarian diets in a Western country like the US or the UK, these vegetarians might also be more health conscious in general, exercising regularly, avoiding unhealthy habits like smoking or excessive alcohol. And this confounds the results. So that's what we mean by healthy user bias. You have to be able to pick out the actual inference and causality with that.
And what about problems with self-reporting? I know I've dealt with that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to know what I had for dinner yesterday, let alone last week. But
True.
re- remember when we were talking about the different types of study, and we mentioned when we ask people to do observational studies, we're asking them, say, hey, let's compare one group to another. And we'll say to our patients, bring me a food diary.
Mhm.
But you know what it's like. I've been asked to do a food diary before, and I usually fill it in the last minutes and think, oh, what did I have last week, and so on. So remembering what you've done, remembering what you've had, and we as a people, we tend to make ourselves look a little bit better than maybe we actually are.
Right.
So that's where a lot of those inaccuracies about self-reporting also occur.
It's also really difficult for someone to remember how many teaspoons of sugar did I put in my coffee this morning? I'll just say one.
Yeah,
Right, but that all adds up.
it does add up. And that's the thing. If we were able to really accurately, scientifically measure, someone's diet, someone's exercise, some of their health outputs, you'd be able to get a lot more information from that and maybe find that causality.
Right. So what is going on with media representation? How can the media compound all of these issues?
Well, I'm not sure what it's like in the US, but here in the UK, every single day there's a headline saying, eating chocolate is good for you, or eating chocolate will send you to an early grave, or everything. You know, it's easy for the media to give a sensational headline because it sounds good. Everyone wants to know that chocolate is good for you. God, if they said to me chocolate was great for me and could actually prove it, I'd be all right. But as we've mentioned, when you're looking at things like this, what you'll find is that, yeah, maybe there is something in chocolate that's a great compound that will help in certain things, but then how are you taking it? Are you eating a small bit of dark chocolate once in a while, or are you having a huge bar every single day? There's so many nuances, and the media don't help that. But then what we're hoping that people can do is that if they learn to look at things a bit more critically, a bit more systematically, they'll be able to go through that noise themselves.